today's video, I'm going over a housing market update nationally and what's happening right here in San Antonio, Texas. Oh, and spoiler alert, we did not see a market crash. Now I'm gonna lay down some facts and data for you, and then we'll get into my predictions for going into 2024. So let's kick it off with a snapshot of the national market. So I've got a 3-year chart of home prices from Redfin right here. So in August, the median sales price of a home was $420,846. Compared to July, home prices dropped by $1,291. Get this, year over year, we're actually still up by 3%. So prices went down month over month, but they're still climbing year over year. Now let's shift gears real quick to the housing inventory. The number of homes for sale is actually down by 18.6%. So as of right now, across the country, there's about 1.5 million homes listed for sale. Not the greatest news if you're hoping for a market crash, because to get to a crash, you need more sellers than buyers, but we've got fewer sellers compared to even last year. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the mortgage rate. So I've got a 10-year chart of the average 30-year fixed mortgage rates here. So pre-pandemic, it was hovering around about 4%. But during their pandemic, it took a dip to 3% and even went below that. But as of right now, it's sitting at around 7.25%, 7.5%. So what are the experts saying right now that's going to happen? I'm actually expecting them to end the year lower compared to what they are right now. But don't get too excited. They're not predicting any type of massive drop. The consensus is it might drop to about 6.5% by the year's end. So not any major changes. Now, analysts are saying the economy, the labor market are holding pretty strong, which will keep mortgage interest rates from plummeting. So we're not going to see any major drop-offs. Now it's time to talk about the home prices. There are a bunch of different opinions out there. A lot of people look at Zillow, and Zillow, for instance, is predicting that home prices will still rise by 4.9% in the next 12 months. All right, now what I want to do is go over exactly what's happening here in San Antonio now that we got the national market out of the way. So let's actually take a look at the numbers here in San Antonio. So as of right now, the average sales price in San Antonio is sitting at $347,834, which is up about 0.9%. from last year, which is not a huge difference. It was $344,818. Now the price always starts to dip this time of year just due to seasonality. So as you can see here, last year around the same time, there was a pretty significant drop as well. That happens year over year just due to seasonality. Even looking back a couple years ago, the chart looks the same as it drops off around this time of year. Now let's take a look at the new listings that are hitting the market. This past month, we had 2,754 new listings hit the market, which is actually down 2% year over year. Last year around this time, we had 2,809 homes hit the market. Not a significant change, but it's a pattern that sellers are starting to hold on to their homes, being that they probably have an interest rate under 5%. Now this brings us to the total number of homes for sale, which is actually up 14% year over year. Right now we have 5,890 homes for sale. But last year at this time we had 5,159. For a large city like San Antonio, that really isn't a major change, but we definitely have more options for buyers that are out there looking on the market. So now would actually be a really great time to find a deal, being that more homes are sitting out there on the market. Next up, we look at the pending sales. This is actually down 11.5% year over year. Again, buyers are on the fence, so home sales are going to be down all over the place just because people are waiting to purchase. Now, as far as the homes that actually got to the closing table, we saw 1,921 homes close last month, which is down 5.1% year over year. Now, days on market is up quite a bit. We're sitting around 55 days on average, which is up 48% year over year. That's absolutely insane. Last year, we were at 37 days around this time. Again, homes are sitting longer, which means they're going to sell for less than what they were actually listed at. Well, as long as you price the home right, you will actually get the price that you're looking for, but you really need to speak with an expert who looks at the trends in the market every day to see where you should actually price your home. When you list too high up front, you are going to get much less than you could have gotten if you would have just listed right in the first place. Because when buyers see a home sitting, they start to wonder what's wrong with the property, which only brings that property value down lower and lower. That being said, the current percentage of sales price to list price is about 97% compared to 99.2% last year. That means more homes are selling for far less. Most homes are not getting over asking price anymore, and that will probably be the norm for a while until rates really go back to normal. And last two things here, well, price per square footage is actually down 1.1% from $174 to $172. Again, not a major change. And showings per listing is actually way down to 5 per listing, which is down 27%. Again, buyers are just taking their time and not out looking like they were in the last couple of years. All right, so that's the numbers and what I think will happen with the market in the coming months. So I'm pretty much on par with what the experts are saying. We're going to see a slight drop toward the end of the year going into 2024, and then home prices will fall slightly due to seasonality, but then continue to rise as we start the new year, continue to rise year over year. Later on in next year, rates will drop probably to maybe mid 5s and 6s, but we definitely won't see any 3% probably ever again. Now, at this point, when rates drop, buyers will start to get back into the market. We would start to see house prices rise because most buyers would jump back in all around the same time. It's a simple case of supply and demand. The more buyers out there looking, the higher price a seller can sell their home for. Long story short, there's still a ton of demand here in San Antonio. Housing inventory will definitely keep the market from crashing because we are still low on inventory. Now, if the economy continues to get worse and buyers just cannot afford homes anymore, then demand will start to slow. Then we may see a slight drop in prices, but that has a very slim chance of actually happening. At the end of the day, start spending smart, be a little bit more frugal because we really don't know what's going to happen. If you actually want to buy a house and you can afford the payments, it's not a bad time to buy. Don't listen to what the media says. Everyone is different. Home values will continue to rise year over year, and you will gain equity no matter what. Now, if you're going to buy and try to sell in a year, that may be a bad idea because it may take 3 to 5 years to actually gain some significant equity enough for you to make a profit or sell your home. Now, if you have any questions about the San Antonio real estate market, give me a call. Of course, I am a licensed realtor here in San Antonio. I'd love to hear from you guys. Now, until the next one, see you guys later.